day and welcome to XSCM5129 or Work Integrated Learning. My name is Siphumelele Hlefane and I will be facilitating this module. Unlike other modules that you would have covered in the first semester, this module is a little bit different. Now you may be wondering, how so? Allow me to expand and put you at ease. In the other modules, you are required to attend class, engage with the lecturer as they relay content with you, and then you are assessed on the content in a range of assessments such as tests, assignments, as well as exams. This module is different in the fact that you will be completing a group assignment the entire semester without any tests, assignments, or exams. The project is the module. How cool is that? Now I'm sure you're asking yourself, how will this project be assessed, or what does the project entail? Before I answer that, let me explain what the purpose of completing this module is. In the first semester, you complete 4 modules that more or less introduce you to the course and what logistics and supply chain management is all about. Now, work integrated learning allows you to apply what you have learned in the first semester to complete this project. In essence, the purpose of having this module is to bring together all knowledge and skills gained into one consolidated project, thereby enabling you, the student, to integrate what you have learned in several modules and demonstrate that you are able to apply it to solve a workplace type problem. Completing a work-integrated learning module will allow students to identify and solve problems in which responses demonstrate that responsible decisions using critical and creative thinking have been made. Work effectively with others as a member of a team, group, organization, or community. Organize and manage oneself and one's activities responsibly and effectively. Collect, analyze, organize, and critically evaluate information. These are some, but not all, outcomes of passing this module. Now that we have discussed the purpose of this module, let us touch on the assessments. As previously discussed, this module does not have the normal assessments such as test or exam, but rather the project will be assessed through a POE, a self-reflective report or evaluation, peer evaluations, attendance of scheduled sessions with the lecturer and with your group, as well as oral presentation. All of these assessments are to be completed within all 12 academic weeks of the semester. Students are guided by the module manual, which indicates which assessment must be completed on which academic week to assist students with planning and completing the project with ease. Now, I think that we have discussed much of the background of this project. Let us now look at what the actual project requires from the group members. As I am sure that in the first semester, you learned about the storage facilities that organizations use for the inventory that they may have. This project looks to investigate these storage facilities. In short, groups are required to choose an organization on which they will base their project, conduct a site visit, and provide the chosen organization with feedback and recommendations on how to improve their facilities. As stated before, groups will be required to conduct research on a warehouse, a cross-docking facility, distribution center, and third-party logistics of a particular organization. This is where the portfolio of evidence comes in. You may be wondering what a portfolio of evidence is. A portfolio of evidence, or POE, is a collection of materials that illustrate a person's skills and capabilities. A POE also typically includes reflecting on the learning process and is the place, which is usually a file, where documents are collected to either Show students' capabilities during a work-integrated learning process by putting together evidence of what they did, for example, documentation, background research, reflections, as well as lessons learned. Or, to keep in one place some of the documents students may wish to show a potential employer as evidence of their learning. So in essence, this is where the group will document all the research conducted. For this project, the POE is the most important as it forms 65% of the entire course mark, as well as the fact that the presentation that will be done at the end of the semester is based on the POE. This means that without the POE, students cannot complete the presentation. The first part that needs to be completed by the groups is the research and report. This is where now students conduct thorough research on the storage facilities. This research can include things such as definitions, efficiency and effectiveness of said storage facility, location and layout, as well as information on what factors make that storage facility ideal. So for instance, students have chosen to conduct research on a warehouse. The research should then include what is viewed as an ideal warehouse. The module manual gives students guidance on some of the things that can be included in the research and report. But students are not limited to the things mentioned. Students can expand, and it is also advisable that students include pictures to make the research more interesting. This first part forms 20% of the POE. The second part that needs to be addressed is the organization profiling. This is where things start to get a little bit more interesting, as students must visit the facility in order to complete this part. Groups are required to compile a detailed profile of the warehouse, distribution center, or third-party logistics. It is imperative to provide a background of the chosen organization to give the reader context. The report should include things such as the organization's value proposition or what the facility mainly deals with. Do they store dry or frozen goods? What equipment is used? What operations does the organization outsource or insource? The group can even include what the organization would say their competitive advantage is. The organization's profile is where the students will address everything that has to do with the organization's storage facility. The organization's profile is where the students will address everything that has to do with the organization's storage facility. Everything will be informed by the questions asked by the group at the site visit. Groups are more than welcome to conduct additional research on the organization's website to complete the second part. This part constitutes 20% of the POE. Feedback and recommendations. As previously discussed, after visiting the site, students must now provide feedback to the said site. This now forms 25% of the POE. You are now expected to provide feedback to the organization in terms of the observations made on the site during the visit. What did the students view on the site? What kinds of machinery or equipment are being used on the site? Is it new or is it old machinery? What can the site implement or introduce to make it work on a more optimum level? How can the site manager increase the efficiency of the site? These are some of the questions that the feedback and recommendations need to answer. The reports should also focus on the processes that the organization carries out most optimally and could also be used as an industry benchmark. This means that the students should not only focus on the wrongdoings of the site or organization, but also touch on what they are doing right and recommend how the sites can use this to their advantage in terms of gaining a competitive advantage against their competitors. Considering that the world is moving towards the integration of intelligent digital technologies into manufacturing and industrial processes, how ready is the organization to adapt to such innovations? How prevalent is the use of automation or the Internet of Things on the site? These are some of the things the report needs to address.